Hi, this is Brian Fogarty, and this is a video for Chapter 5 of the book Quantitative Social Science Data with R, second edition. So in this video, what we're going to do is look at how to dummy nominal variables, or dummying out nominal variables, however you want to phrase it. The idea is we often, in social sciences, have nominal variables in multiple categories, and we will need to, we want to use this variable in some type of analysis, say specifically a regression analysis, and what we want to do is we want to dummy it out, because if we put in a nominal level variable with multiple categories and don't set it in a certain way, don't declare it or specify it in a certain way, R will could treat it like it's numeric or treat it like it is ordered in some way. So there is a shortcut where we just say as factor within, say, a regression, which is totally fine. That completely works. What I'm going to show you here is how to be a little more explicit about creating or dummying out nominal variables. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this variable PID, which is partisan identification. So this asks respondents, what party do you feel closest to or identify with? And we're just going to take a quick look with the count function here. All right, so this is actually like a very small version of what the original one. This just has three categories. It has conservative, other, and then UKIP Brexit. So this was actually people who identified with the UKIP party or I guess, I don't know if they could do or the Brexit party, which was like the newer version of UKIP. It's complicated. So what we want to do here is if we want to use this in a regression and don't want to use this the as factor option, what we need to do is we need to specify or create two dummy variables out of this to include. So we're going to create one where the dummy has conservative as the higher category, and then another dummy where UKIP Brexit is the higher category. All right, so let's get to it. So we've looked at all the tools that we need. We've actually already looked at. All right. I'm going to save this again. I know this is kind of monotonous in some ways. VF England. All right. So we're going to do a number of steps here. Again, this is one of the cool things about using piping. You do a bunch of things all together at once. Really like it. We're going to create a new variable called PID1, and what this is just simply a factor version of PID, because currently PID is considered character. So let's do as underscore factor PID, and then we'll use piping. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to filter out all the missing values. So let's see here. Are there missing values? There should be missing values. There might not actually be missing values here. I might have stripped them out. Anyway, let's say there are, because most likely there are going to be missing values. All right, so we're going to use filter, which we looked at before. And to get rid of the missing, we're going to do not is.na, and then PID1, because we're referencing off of that. Okay. All right. And then we're going to do a second mutate, and we're going to create variable conservative, and we're going to use FCT underscore collapse. All right, so we looked at this in a couple videos ago, and so what this does is that it collapses categories of a factor variable. So we are using, again here, we're using PID1. So PID 1, comma, I'm going to pull this back. I feel like this is working oddly today. I don't know why. All right, so we have our first category is going to be conservative, and then equals, actually just the original, so conservative. And then comma, and then let's just do other. We're just going to call other. And this one is going to be a combination of UKIP and the other category. So we have the concatenate. There might be a faster way to do this. You know, my view with R is when you're first, especially when you're first figuring stuff out, is figure out how to do it. Figure out how to do it so that it works to do what you want, and then you can always go back and figure out the prettier way or the faster way of doing it. It really just depends on what you like. All right, I think that's correct. Let's see. All right, let's see here. So we're going to highlight all this. Run that. Okay, so we didn't get an error. I'm going to steal this from up here, just so we don't have to type it again. And I'm going to change out PID for conservative. Highlight that. All right, so we see now there's just two categories, other and conservative. Now, for UKIP, what we can do is just repeat the process. We can actually do it in above. We can add it to the above if we wanted to, but let's see here. I'm just going to put this in, but we actually don't need all this, right? Because we've already dealt with it. But let me see. We don't need that for sure. Let's just leave the other one in there, just in case. I don't think we do. All right. And I'm going to create a new variable called UKIP Brexit. And then down here, we're going to change this out to UKIP Brexit. And this UKIP Brexit. And then replace the UKIP Brexit here with conservative. Okay. I think that looks good. Let's see. All right, we didn't get any errors. I'm going to steal this again. Put this in here. Yeah, just like that. Okay, we might want to flip this. We probably want to flip this around, which we can do with the reverse. I'm just going to leave it for now. What I'm saying is, so at this point we've dummied out the variables, the nominal variable PID, but we want the higher category to be the thing. Sorry, that's vague. Be the thing. You know what? Let's come back here because it's making me annoyed. Let's create a new mutate line. You can do it probably within. I'm gonna do this again. And FCT rev. Let's see if this works. I'm doing this on the fly. UKIP Brexit. That should hopefully work. All right. Okay, we didn't get yelled at. Yay! Happy folks. Okay, so that flipped it. All right, so if we take which we're gonna in chapter 11 we do regression, which is our first look. There's also the GLM, generalized linear models, later on. If we put in these two dummy variables, conservative and UKIP Brexit, then the results we get are going to be relative to the other category, literally the other category, the category that we don't have the dummy variable for. We'll talk more about that when we get to that stage. All right. So again, this is just an example of dummying out a nominal variable. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.